Filming in my living room today. This is so weird, but I've always wanted to film down here, so I thought, let's just do it. I just decorated for Christmas. I don't have my tree up yet, otherwise I'd be filming in front of my tree, but this is a vibe. I live on a very busy street, so filming on this side of the house, it might be a little loud. My apologies. I'm honestly like so tired of seeing my face doing makeup tutorials, and so I really wanted to do something different. So yeah, I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me whatever you wanted. There are a range and a plethora of questions, so I'm gonna answer them now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and let's get started. The number one question, I'm just gonna get it out of the way, is do I want kids? Thankfully, no one's asking me if I'm pregnant. I think I got sassy enough with enough people. Everyone's asking me if I want kids. And yes, I do want kids. Ruben and I really want kids. I don't know how many. We're gonna start with one when the time comes and then go from there. I can see myself having 3, maybe. I don't know. I'm very open to any possibility when it comes to that. I'm also open to adopting. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when the time comes. I do have to say, as I get older, I do want kids more than before. There was a time where like I just was kind of like, I've got a lot of questions about what color is in my hair and what my hairstylist used. I'll link right up here a video that I did with my hairstylist. It's just bleach and toner, but she tells you exactly what she uses on my hair in that video. And another question I get a lot is how often do I go and get my hair done? And I go pretty religiously, like every 6 weeks, just to kind of like touch up right up here and to touch up the toner and everything. But yeah, that's what I get done at the salon. Make sure to check out that video because we go in detail on like what they do on my hair and stuff. I got a lot of questions about our wedding and like all that's going on with that. I'm gonna give a little rundown because it's been all over the place. So Ruben and I have been together for 11 and a half years. And we've been engaged for at least 3. It could be 4. I forgot how long we've been engaged for. Yeah, we took forever to plan a wedding, and then finally we decided to do a destination wedding in Mexico. It was supposed to be in February of 2020, but last fall we actually canceled it and rescheduled it to summer of 2020 because half our friends and family couldn't come for one reason or another. It actually turned out that 6 couples, which equals out to 12 people, we're pregnant and we're due within 1 month of the wedding. So it just was not meant to be, honestly. So we moved it to July of 2020 and then obviously couldn't do it then. So we moved it to next July. And if I'm being honest, I'm very discouraged because just with the way everything has been going on, I know that this is like not a big deal. I'm just answering a question. It is something that I'm thinking about because if the restrictions are the same next summer as they are this last summer, then I don't know how we're going to be able to have it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So far, it's for July of 2021. We'll see what happens. My battery's dying. Fucking great. Can I just tell you the least favorite question is where do I want to be in 5 years? I don't know. I don't know. Also, sorry for the lighting change. The sun is going to start setting and it's going to be looking weird, but whatever. What does Ruben do for work? He is a general contractor, so he can do literally anything. He can do it all. Oh, somebody asked me what nude lip combo I'm wearing right now. Thank you. What do I have on my lips right now? This light. I put paper up on the window. Okay, what do I have on my lips right now? I have on Oak Lip Pencil from MAC with the First Time lipstick from Tom Ford on top, and then I kind of like went over it with a little bit of More Creamer Please from Desi and Katie's Dose of Colors collaboration. My most favorite makeup look, currently it's what I have on right now, just a very quick and easy, simple makeup routine, kind of like a Me But Better sort of look. That's like my current favorite. How did me and Ruben meet? We met in high school, actually. We met freshman year of high school, and then we started dating, I think it was junior year. What workouts do you do at the gym? So currently I actually haven't been to my gym in a while. It's been maybe 3 weeks and I feel so sluggish. I need to get back into it. But I like to keep it very simple. I like very simple movements, but I like to try to push my limits in a good way. So I just like simple things like bicep curls, bent lateral raises, overhead presses, tricep, overhead extensions, tricep kickbacks, lunges, squats. I don't know, just very, very simple stuff. I need to get better at pushing myself to failure, which means just like doing it until you can't do it anymore, because sometimes I think I just go less than I should. So then I'm like, okay, I did my 10 reps or I did my 15 reps. I'm good. So I just try to make sure I break a sweat every single time, which tells me I'm challenging myself. And then about 3 days a week after my workout, I will do 50 leg raises. So I like lay on my back and I raise my legs up and down, which works my abs really good. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was doing a step aerobics class after I would do my tricep and shoulder workout. But there's restrictions on that class now, so I haven't gone in 3 weeks, which then has made it so that I haven't gone back, period, which is not an excuse. So I actually bought a step for my house. I bought one at the beginning of like the year when all of this went down, but that was when like all of the workout equipment, like you couldn't get anything on any website. So I got like one of the cheapest step stools, but it's a lot smaller and a lot more flimsy. So now they had the Reebok step stools back in stock. So I ordered one of those just in case I have to do them at home again. I found this girl, my paper just fell off the window. I found this girl online that I love her step workouts, and it's very similar to the classes that I would take. So I just need to get back into a routine, maybe get like a workout buddy, something like that. Amanda and I used to work out all the time together, but we just have different goals and different things that we enjoy doing with our workouts. So we're actually talking about possibly getting back together again, maybe like couple times a week to do something. I need to up my cardio, that's for sure. And I need to get back into just like a regular routine. I think maybe vlogging. I need to start vlogging more. And I think if I do that, it will motivate me to work out, because then I'll have something to show you. That was a very long explanation of what I do at the gym. Everyone's just asking me wedding questions, and I'm just so discouraged about it. Like, I don't want to talk about the wedding. You know what it is? It's because I have this big regret that we didn't have our wedding sooner. We've been engaged for forever. We've been together for forever. So now I'm just frustrated that now this is what's going on. I feel like I can't say anything right, because I know people are like, it's not about you. It's not about your wedding. And I know, but it is still something that we have to deal with, and it's something that I'm dealing with. And I regret not having our wedding like 2 years ago. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? That's a good question. So in the morning, I make a pot of coffee and I put 4 cups, like actual legit cups, you know, when you're like pouring it in, you see the amount, and then I drink that throughout the day. So I don't know if that's a lot. Probably is. What are my favorite kinds of videos to make? Ooh, I think anything where I'm in a different setting. I get so sick of filming in my room upstairs and just like sitting and being very robotic. And a lot of times I love doing like get ready with me videos and like talking about makeup and stuff, but sometimes I kind of just get over it. And so a lot of times what I found myself doing is I'll force myself to do it anyways, because that's what people ask for. Everyone just like wants tutorials from me. So then I would pretty much like burn myself out in that aspect and wouldn't do something different, because I would feel like I had to do it. So then I ended up not liking it anymore. So I think any video that I'm excited about is my favorite, I guess. I actually really like doing hair tutorials, even though I'm not that good at it. I love the outcome of a fashion video and like an outfit video, but the filming process is long. Oh my gosh. It's like a workout filming an outfits video. You have to get undressed and redressed and undressed and redressed and take pictures. You get really sweaty. I'm serious. Where is your TV console from? It's from IKEA. We got a lot of stuff from IKEA in our house. Have you always lived in Chicago, and do you like it there? Yeah, so I actually never lived like in the city of Chicago. I just kind of like lived on the outskirts, and now I moved to Indiana, which is still like on the outskirts of Chicago. And I love it. I love the Midwest. I'm a true Midwestern girl. Anywhere I go somewhere different, I'm like, wow, there is a difference when you go different places. Just like the vibe and the feeling and everything. So I do really like it here. We've considered moving other places. I don't know other places very well, and I feel very at home here. I definitely love that our seasons here, we get a summer, fall, winter, and a spring. The only thing I don't like is that our winter carries into our spring, so we barely even get a spring. So that's like my only complaint. But yeah, I like it here. And I have to say, we have the most beautiful city. If I could collaborate with any brand, who would it be? I would say Makeup Geek and Sigma. Both of those brands are brands that I started using at the very beginning of YouTube, and I still really love to this day. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? When I was younger, I was pretty much set on me being a dance teacher. I danced my whole life up until I was like 18, but it got really expensive, and my parents paid for it when I was younger. But then as I got older and became an adult, I had to pay for it, and I couldn't afford it. And I was like in retail management and stuff, so I just couldn't go. And the place I went to was like 2 hours away. So that's like another like big regret, is not doing that and not continuing dancing, because I have lost it. I took a dance class last fall, and oh my gosh, I'm horrible now. But I did ballet, jazz, modern, contemporary, like I did all of that kind of stuff, and I loved it. And I think I used to be pretty good, but I've thankfully kept a lot of my flexibility. I can whop down into a split. Kind of lost the whole dance groove that I had, unfortunately. But I would love, they recently opened up a place about 20 minutes from me, and they have adult ballet classes, which I would love to take. Yes, that is what I thought I was going to be. And it's actually very weird thinking of this whole career here and thinking about this as my job, because I never had any plans for this. I just always thought that I was going to be a dance teacher. Best keto Christmas dessert recipes. So I get asked all the time about keto desserts and keto recipes and stuff like that. I actually just filmed a what I eat in a day video, so I kind of touch on this and that, but I don't like doing keto desserts or keto recipes. I keep it very, very simple, because a lot of the stuff that's in like those desserts and stuff, it's so funny, this person just asked me this, and I just posted about how I don't like keto desserts. They're filled with stuff that just tears up my stomach. Erythritol, can't do it. I will literally be like ripping ass for 2 days straight, and it will reek. I'm just being honest. It will bloat me and make me very uncomfortable. Same with like almond flours, coconut flours. It just makes me feel a little heavier. I don't enjoy it. At that point, I would rather just have a regular dessert. And the other thing too, is I think a lot of times when people are thinking of keto desserts, they think it's healthy, and it's not healthy. It's still a dessert. I don't know, just for me, like keto definitely makes me feel my absolute best. I've noticed I have so many weird symptoms if I'm not doing keto and I'm eating more carbohydrates. I can get into that in a whole separate video if you want, but I'm not going to eat something if it doesn't make me feel good. You know what I mean? So I just don't think I'm going to end up doing like any sort of keto dessert for anything, just because at that point I would rather just have a regular cookie. I'd rather have regular ice cream, because I'd rather get a headache from eating sugar than completely mess up my stomach for 2 days and have the worst gas in the world and feel uncomfortable and not be able to move. And yeah. What does a typical day look like for you? Let me know if you want like a day in my life video or like a morning routine video or something like that. I could do that. But I wake up, I take the dog out, and then while she's eating, I'll make my coffee, and we go wake up Ruben, and then he goes to work. And when he goes to work, I hop on my laptop. I do emails, all that kind of stuff. When I had a workout routine, after I did that, I would go and work out, come home, and get to work to do whatever it is I need to do that day, whether it be filming a video, editing a video, stuff like that. And then throughout the day, I check my emails and talk with brands and look over contracts and stuff like that. What's your best tips on buying a house? I think that's a really good question. Ruben and I actually didn't technically like buy this house. We did, but we paid for it as we went. So we don't have a mortgage. We didn't take out a loan. We just paid for it as we went because Ruben was building it. There was a house on this property before that he completely knocked down and then built this on the land. So yeah, we just paid for it as we went. So if we needed wood, we went and bought the wood. And then if we needed drywall, we went and bought the drywall. We just paid for it as we went, which is part of why it took so long for us to move in. If you've been following me for a while, I talked about how we were going to be moving into the house soon years ago. And then we didn't move in soon because it cost money. It was expensive. And you know what? I guess that is one of my biggest tips. And I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about that. But like, actually paying cash for a house. I know it's not common, but you just have to be very, very frugal, put your money aside, budget. I mean, since high school until I was 27, I lived out of Ruben's parents' house in his bedroom. We could have gotten married and moved out and had an apartment and wasted our money on rent, but we just decided to kind of just live with our parents as long as we could. And I think it was worth it. We were able to pick out every single thing that we wanted to an extent. Some stuff is so expensive, you guys, that it's just like not even worth it. But yeah, I wouldn't do it any other way. We're already kind of like thinking of ideas for the next house, for the next, we're looking for just keeping an eye out for property and setting aside money so that when we find the perfect lot, we can pay cash for it. I think it's very easy to look at friends and family and look on social media and so has this and that and this and that. It's very easy to get sucked into that and think, well, if they have that, then I need to have that, or why don't I have that? And just remember, all of that is just stuff. What someone else has says nothing about you. It's all about what they want, and there's nothing wrong with having a fancy car or having a fancy bag. I'm just saying, don't let that indicate your worth. Don't ever let someone's life online make you feel any way about you. Easier said than done, 1000%. That's something I've learned throughout this whole time with my social media career, and something that I keep having to remind myself, because you can so easily get sucked into that and think, well, that person has that. Why don't I have that? I should have that. When at the end of the day, it's just stuff. I do follow Dave Ramsey a lot. I get a lot of financial advice from his Instagram and podcasts and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend checking him out. His whole motto is like, if you don't have cash for it, then you can't afford it, don't buy it. And that's kind of like what I've tried to implement as much as I can in my life. Obviously, buying a house is a lot different. My first advice would be pay cash for it if you can, save up for it if you can. If that's just not possible, because I get like buying a house is a big deal. I would check out Dave Ramsey and his advice. But yeah, that's just what we did, and I'm really glad that we did. Do you feel that there is unnecessary pressure on YouTubers to be perfect? Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm actually glad you brought this up, just because the last 2 days I've kind of been in a funk about YouTube. And I usually just pull myself out of it and I don't talk about it, just because I don't like being negative at all. I do believe that like what you put out, you attract. So I don't want to ever be on here complaining and talking about stuff, because I honestly think that like I'm just going to get it even more then. But yeah, 1000%. Someone also asked me like what I don't like about my job, and these kind of like go together, I guess. But the constant critique is very difficult, because most of the time it just like rolls right off my chest. Like I just don't even care. But the constant, anytime I log on to any social media, I'm going to see something bad about me that someone says. And I know that doesn't say anything about me. I know that it's more about the person that's saying it rather than me. But yes, seeing constant critique makes it very hard to stay who you are in a way, because I obviously don't want to hear someone saying something negative about me. So I'm going to try to be as perfect as I can. It's so funny, but it's such a stupid example. I eat bacon and eggs a lot, and I post my food on Instagram stories. And every time I show my bacon, someone says something about it, whether it's too undercooked, it's too overcooked, and it's just fucking bacon. And now, anytime I make my bacon, I think about those comments, and it's just so stupid. That is just a very simple example of that, and imagine that applied to your whole entire life. Being picked apart definitely isn't easy, and to be honest, the majority of the time, it's just, I don't let it get to me, because I know that people that are commenting negatively, it says more about them than it does about me. So yeah, there's definitely this feeling that like you have to be perfect. And not because I don't think people want me to be perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's just, it ends up developing within me and within other influencers, because a truck just rolled by. You don't want to see those comments. You want to try to be as perfect as you can so that you can avoid these comments. But what it comes down to is that you cannot please everyone. It's so funny, because I get so many comments like all the time about how they wish I would post more, or do more tutorials. So for December, I decided to post every single day, and it's been nothing but tutorials. And I've had comments saying how annoying it is to see my face, so they unsubscribed because I'm posting too much. That right there just shows you, like, just it doesn't matter what people think. And I'm laughing about it now because I'm in a good mood. But sometimes when you're down and you see those comments and it's something stupid, it could be something totally stupid, but someone's critiquing your life, it can make you rethink your whole career. Favorite teeth whitener. You know what? I just used the Crest 3D white toothpaste. This I thought was such a good question. This is YouTube work trip horror story. I have quite a few, but one in particular that stands out was I went to LA for a work thing. I can't really talk specifically about it because I'm pretty sure I'm in a contract that says I can't talk about it. I went there and everything was supposed to be paid for, my flight, my hotel, my food, everything. It was stated that like all of this was going to be paid for. So I get there and I had to pay for everything. I was there for a long time too. I was there for at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer. And I had to pay for everything up front. And they told me then, once I was in LA, that, oh, yeah, we'll pay for it, but you just have to pay for it first and save your receipts. At the time, I don't think I made like any money from YouTube, like barely anything. So thank God my mom let me borrow her credit card before I left for emergencies only. So I had to call her and let her know, hey, I'm going to be literally living off your credit card for the next couple weeks. Surprise, I had to pay for everything. So then when I gave them all of my receipts and everything, they didn't reimburse me for 9 months. 9 months. So that was a horror story. I'm so thankful that I had my mom's credit card, because if I didn't, I would have been screwed. I wouldn't have had any money to pay for any of that stuff. Oh, another horror story. Everything happens in LA. All of my horror stories happen in LA. And so nothing against LA, but I just don't like going there because I've had so many like negative experiences that just coincidentally happened in LA. But this actually happened before the last story I just told you. I went there because a company wanted to hire me to work in LA, and I would be like on a salary but still creating content here on YouTube. I went and I met with them, and they, before I even went to LA to meet with them, they told me that I was basically hired, that they would be sending me a contract, and that just to seal the deal, we had to meet in person. And even in our conversations when I was there, it was they were going to be sending me a contract in the mail, all this kind of stuff. After our interview, I was like walking around and I just started bawling. I don't know why. Well, I do know why now. I just, you know, when you just have that gut feeling, like in your heart, something's not right. It just wasn't right. It was not the place for me. And I was about to uproot my life and move to LA. And I had this gut-wrenching feeling of this is not where I'm supposed to be. The interview went amazing. Everything went well. It was a dream, like an actual dream, what I was going to be doing. And I was bawling my eyes out because I could not figure out why this was I was bawling my eyes out and I wasn't happy. Regardless of my little mishap, I kind of like pulled it together and was like, well, you're going to do this. You're going to move to LA. And then I get home and they never sent me a contract and they never emailed me back. The interview went well. It ended well. They said they were going to send me a contract, and when I followed up on it, they never sent it to me, and it just kind of confirmed, like, okay, this is not meant to be. I'm not supposed to move there. And yeah, it's such a weird experience. Like, I can go back in my heart and like feel those feelings of just sadness and being uncomfortable, but it's just so funny. God has a plan for you, and I'm so glad that I felt all those feelings because I didn't move to LA. I think I would have been miserable living in LA. Like I said previously, I am a Midwestern girl at heart. I love it here. My family's here. Also at that time, I wasn't really close with my family. And so the escape sounded fun. Like it sounded great to get out of this area, but everything happens for a reason. And even though I was crushed for years about this whole experience, I can now look at it and be like, oh, That's why I didn't move there, because it wasn't meant to be. I'm sure there are more horror stories about YouTube traveling, well, not YouTube traveling, but like traveling for work and different work horror stories. But those are just the two that like really stick out to me. One, having no money in LA for 2 weeks, and two, realizing that I don't want the most amazing job. I just realized this whole time I'm filming on my vlog camera and it has a flip up screen, and I've been staring at that, and it's dark in here, and I should be looking right at the lens, and I haven't been, and that is such a pet peeve of mine. So I'm so sorry if I was staring at myself and not the lens. That is like the worst. Okay. My microphone is about to die, so hopefully it doesn't. But I got a lot of questions about what kind of dog Pretzel is, so I just woke her up. She's really grumpy. Oh, so I got her DNA test about a year ago, and she is mainly Dachshund or Wiener dog. That's you. She's mainly a Wiener dog, but she's mixed with Shih Tzu, Lhasa Apso, Chow Chow, and then like a bunch of other breeds. She is a mutt through and through, but I really think that the Wiener dog pulls the most. You're really alert right now. And you's really stinky. You's been brewing. But we just love her. She is the best dog ever. Yeah, and she gives the best yawns. Everyone asks what breed she is, and I wish that we could get another one just like her, but she is just so unique. I've never seen a dog that looks just like her, because she is mixed with like 5 million things. But I do think that her Wiener dog pulls in the way that she looks, and her traits, like the way that she acts and stuff, is very Wiener dog-y. So, but that's it for today's questions. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I feel like a lot of you guys asked a lot of the same questions. They were all just worded a little bit differently, so I hope I answered your question. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these. I feel like this is kind of fun, just to hang out and do something a little bit different, a little break from makeup. I have a lot more tutorials that I filmed that I want to go up in this month, but I was kind of thinking of doing just some casual stuff too. I've been getting nothing but requests for vlogs, and I haven't vlogged yet, partially because I just decorated yesterday, and today is December 9th. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's the 9th of December. I just decorated yesterday. Our tree's not even up, so I just feel like it's not very festive, but now that it's somewhat decorated, I feel like I can vlog now, whatever. But yeah, if you guys want to see some vlogs, let me know. It might be like vlog after vlog after vlog, just to kind of like take a break from the tutorials. Just let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun doing this video. Please subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye.